It's the setup. About to do a film and show for a client. I really got to get a new cart. This is hell. And supposed to be practicing for a live stream too, doing a run through for a live stream after we finish filming. So, left a few things out in the car, my Atem and my portable director's monitor. But this is the setup. This is what I'm using so far. So this is the before. Okay. And this is after, so this is the setup. Real basic FS5, well, 3 FS5s. Wide angle, this is for the guest. This shot is for the host. I'm about to have them sit down here shortly. I got two 250 watt, I don't know what this brand is, some brand that I found on eBay, so I'm just testing it out. These 47-inch soft boxes, Bowden's mount. I got those for a really, really good price. I want to say they were 2 for like 70 bucks. Somebody was selling on eBay. Just light stand. Gotta have a black tennis balls. Everything black. But yeah, I mean, that's the basic setup. Using Hollyland for my mics. Hollyland Lark. I have 3 sets, so I color code everything to make sure that when I'm packing up, everything goes together. It's weird though, this blue is faded out. I don't know why this blue faded out, but I have some more. These are just little tabs that you get from Office Depot, Staples. Recording with the Podtrak P4. As you can see, my levels are catching. So I got the Hollylands. I use lav mics with that. So we are good to go. Gotta have a Red Bull to keep yourself going. Got the Mac over here on standby. I run production on this shoot. So I look up information, facts. This is a sports show. So there we go. Pretty basic, pretty straightforward. I really love these Hollyland mics, man. I've been using these for quite a few years now. They really, really do the job for me. As long as they are on the side of the subject and as long as I'm not too far away, they do great. I can't remember where I got these lavaliers from. I think I ordered them off of Amazon, not sure. But I love these. Probably at some point we'll get something a little more expensive, but I mean, these cost enough. I think like one set with one receiver, 2 transmitters, I think is about $250, which is pretty good, you know. But yeah, I love these things. You gotta make sure you're not too far away. I remember one time I was filming. I was on a conference call, while the cameras were rolling, and I had the receiver outside this wall with the door closed. So the guest and the host were sitting all the way over here on that couch. I was all the way through here, door closed, and I had my this cart over here, and hit interference somewhere. I don't know if it's the wall, the wood, whatever it was, but I hit a little interference, and so I had to open the door and just roll the cart back in. But they work pretty good distance. I have no complaints. I've also used them on boom poles. I'll hook up a boom mic, connect it right in here, put it on a boom pole. That way I don't have to run cables from the boom mic back to the camera. So, you know, very versatile.
With God's work,
we're talking about
God's
man.
work.
So here's the thing, man.
Yeah.
It's like a team. I look at me and you as, okay, we're on the same team,
Yeah.
but we're playing different positions, right? So for example, I'm at the bottom where I gotta get them early and use basketball as a vessel, right? To give them those life lessons as if what you're doing at the top. So what I always thought was, okay, in order to get solutions, you start at the bottom, you start at the top, and then you bring it together. You see what I'm saying? And so when we give them that foundation, because guys like me, I had a job in Canada. 2011, I was offered a job. It's over you, man, because you're doing this work and you're doing it the right way. Man, I'm just so grateful that, you know, what you're doing. So let's tell, what has been your biggest challenges, man, trying to get this thing accomplished and get to that point? What have been
The best and brightest coaches in the country.
Yes.
And so I fight for not only bringing that national global exposure to our HBCUs, but the students and the student athletes and our coaches that deserve the shine, that deserve the know.
and develop him as long as he stay consistent and you want.
All right, so about to break down, did a little testing for the, we're gonna do not really a live stream tomorrow, but we're gonna have, so I'm gonna have guests here in studio. The host and the guest will be here, and then we're streaming in a third person. So I'll have a third person from overseas will be on the monitor, so they'll be able to see them. And then I'll have all the cameras plugged into the Atem, and then the Atem will be plugged into the tablet, so that that person at home overseas, they will be able to see them as I switch angles with, you know, wide angle or, you know, individual zoom in angles. And I'll record that as well. And I just thought of something, but yeah, I'll record that. I'm gonna use StreamYard to bring the person in, but I'm also thinking about running StreamYard separately and bringing StreamYard into the Atem as another feed. So not sure, but that may not work because actually I'm sending that feed, so that feed from the Atem is actually going out. So I'll figure that out, because I still want to pull StreamYard in, and then maybe it'll probably be okay if they see the feed for that's changing, whether it's them on the screen or the host and their in studio guest on the screen. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I've done it both ways, so we'll figure it out. So this is breakdown. Another tip. I'm sure everybody does it, but get you some Velcro ties. Like these actually connect to the wire. So much easier to deal with. I'm sure everybody does it, but if you don't, definitely get Velcro ties, much faster. So this is my new case that I'm using now for my Atem. I'm sure everybody remembers the old case that I had for my live streaming kit, where I had the Atem. I would keep my Podtrak P4. I would keep all the live stream cameras that I would use, which were just digital SLR cameras, as well as the lenses. I had multiple shotgun mics, and then I would also keep my wireless, my Hollyland, wireless kit. So I had everything in that kit. That was kind of like my live streaming kit. But now with different, using different cameras more now, I'm not really doing as much live streaming now. So when I have to do more of the conferences or the panel discussions or, things like that, it's a different process. And so now, if I have to do that and still bring the Atem, then I had to get a different kit. So this is just a makeup bag. At first I thought it said Revlon, which is the makeup brand, but it's not. Relevale, whatever the hell that is. Something really cheap I bought off Amazon. I want to say it's like 30 bucks. And it actually fit perfect. You know, I put some cords in here so the Atem won't move around. The majority of the stuff that I actually use when I'm doing streams, I just sit it under it. So I have a memory card, and this is for when I work with people who are doing Zoom calls. So they want to add in a Zoom call or a Zoom presentation into a live stream feed. I think this is a cable that works with the Microsoft Surface. Of course, I got USB and Thunderbolt. Well, actually, I use this to record. Instead of using the external drive, I plug this into my Atem and just use a SD card. I think this is like $25 on Amazon. I actually use one of these, let me see, with my Mac as well. Let's see. So I also use, let's see, I think it's in here. Yeah. So I use one of these with my Mac also as an external drive because I decided to do, you know, I wanted a MacBook Air. I didn't want a MacBook Pro. I wanted something small and light. But this is an M3 MacBook Air, M3 chip, 16 gigs of RAM, 512 internal SSD. And so I decided to use one of these so that when I'm filming, I can just pop the SD card in here, plug this up to the Mac, and import the data. But instead of importing the data directly to my Mac, I went out and bought two of these. These are, if you're searching for these, they're called FIT thumb drives, FIT. And so when you put FIT in front of searching for a thumb drive on Amazon or somewhere like that, you'll find these. These are, you know, they're not completely flush, but they don't stick all the way out. Like, you know, a traditional thumb drive sticks like way out like this. So I can actually just leave these in here. I got smaller ones because they won't sell at Best Buy for 22 bucks. And so I went and got the last two. I found them online. But I think for a little more money, I want to say these are 256 each. 256 gigs. So I have 512, technically 512 external SSD, pretty much. But you can get, I want to say 512s. You can get two 512s. And I think they're only about $40 each, $36 each on Amazon. So, and this is just an Anchor external hub. Got HDMI, SD, micro SD, a couple of more USB-C ports, and then of course the two USB-A ports that I'm using for external drive. So this is a way for me to keep an external drive for really cheap. But yeah, so that's what I use for the Atem as well. When I'm recording externally, I just pop this memory card in here, plug this up to the Atem, and it recognizes it. So yeah, I keep everything under. This is a cord that I use for when I use my Beats headphones for monitoring audio. And this is just a USB-C to HDMI cord that I use if I'm just bringing in something from a laptop into the Atem. This cord also works with my phone. I have a Google phone and Google 8 phones. I can also do USB-C out to HDMI, so that's pretty cool. That's just a splitter. I mean, you know, because you can monitor. The Atem Extreme has a monitor, has a dedicated headphone out jack. And so what I do for that is I use this splitter so I use one end to monitor, and then I use the other end to plug up to like an external speaker, like a Beats speaker, some type of cheap speaker to allow the guest to hear. So if I have somebody that's talking from, through StreamYard or Zoom or whatever, and they're, entering the chat, the conversation, then I can split this audio out from here, and I can monitor it in my ears where they can hear them here in the studio, and I can put the speaker far enough away where it's not like reverb or bounce back. But I also can plug this up to, so these inputs will just come from my Podtrak P4. So, yeah. But yes, I just keep everything under, use these cords to keep it from moving around, and yep, then we're good to go.